I'd like to talk you now through about how you can generate and manage real-time feedback from customers to keep track of your customer metrics to improve your business processes. This can all be done through surveys and through the power of customer voice. So click customer voice, just needs customer, perfect. And this takes us straight to the customer voice portal. So customer voice is a sophisticated feedback management system. This, as Will mentioned before, has now replaced the deprecated Forms Pro. So here I've created a very simple survey that you can distribute, that we're going to distribute for customer feedback. So some of the questions that I have set up in the survey is questions such as, how would you rate your overall satisfaction? And that is just a simple rating question. I've also enabled a branching rule, which I will show you later, where anything under 3 stars for that rating on question 1 will pop out with an additional response to try and get some more information about the reason for their score. We also have a Likert question for question 3. This is really a few statements where a customer can define how closely they align with those statements, whether they strongly disagree with a statement or whether they strongly agree, or whether it doesn't really apply to them at all. So if you scroll down, Sam, thank you very much. We also have text boxes, so we're able to ask customers to populate their own information in terms of additional feedback. We can also use NPS scores, which is a core measurement for the overall customer experience. So the way that it will be read is that if any scores between 0 to 6 will be marked as a detractor, 7 to 8, the customer will be marked as a passive user, and 9 to 10 will be marked as a promoter. So this is really a metric just to really allow you to see how your business is progressing, and we can all see this within our reports, which I'll show you briefly afterwards. So if you could scroll right to the top, Sam. Thank you very much. So customer voice has a deep integration with Dynamics, thus having a deep integration with a common data service. So we're able to pipe variables from the CDS straight to the survey, with the goal of making these surveys as personalized as possible. So in the subtitle of the periodic customer feedback, you'll see that there's first name. So this is a variable which we have set up where it will pull information from the contact record that you will send out via an email, or the user record that you send out. So this allows to really have a more personalized touch to your surveys. We can also add any variables really that we see fit, and we could define them. We could define these variables using Power Automate. We could define them at the email stage, and we could define them at the survey stage as well. So Sam, if you go to customization, thank you, and just go to variables, please. Thank you very much. We'll see that I've created a variable right at the bottom called company name, and I've just given a default value as ActiveTech as a pseudo company. So if you click close and you scroll down, so you see in the Likert questions, you'll see a company name is a variable that we've populated there. So this can be changed as we just done here, where we've given it a fixed value, or we can use logic using Power Automate to define this value later on. So I just want to show you how you can distribute some of these surveys. So let's click send, please. Perfect. And click resend. So the first option we're given is, as I mentioned, Power Automate. So Power Automate allows users to create a trigger event. A trigger event being when an opportunity is created, closed, or when a case is closed. For instance, any trigger event that occurs in Dynamics, we can use this event to send a customer voice survey to the primary contact of that record. So for instance, when you're closing a case, we can send an email straight to the contact of that case in order to gain further information. We can send an email, which I will show to you very shortly, and we can also embed these surveys in a web page. We can also use a QR code in order to distribute these surveys to a large audience, for example, in a webinar presentation scenario. And we can also send an anonymous link as well. So Sam, can you please navigate to email? Thank you very much. So this is just a very quick email template that I've made. It's quite simple to make these email templates using the inbuilt email configuration platform that's in Customer Voice. So as we can see here, we have these variables which have been piped into this email template. So you see it says dear first name, last name, and we also have a embedded survey question in this email. How would you rate your overall satisfaction with our company? We have found through research, Microsoft have found that using embedded survey question yields better response rates. So this is something that if you're planning to use customer voice, to really consider when it comes to creating your email templates. So let's send this out to you, Sam.
Oh.
So instantly, it goes through all the context that we have within our CDS. So all contacts, all users, we can instantly send this out to using the send platform on the email templates. So let's just wait for that email to come through, Sam.
I'm refreshing as fast as I can.
While we're on here, I'd like to show you some of the dashboard features that we have on the Send platform. So instantly we can see the number of total invitations we have sent, number of responses. We can see how they responded, whether they've just opened the survey, they haven't responded, they have not read it, or they have read the email. So we're able to have this email tracking enabled as well for the customer surveys. So we also get some interesting insight with the invite tracking dashboard that we have just below that too. Has the email come through, Sam?
I've got the other one. Here it is.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. That's it. So as you can see here, it says dear Sam Goodwin. So that's a variable that we have piped through. So we instantly have that. How would you rate your overall satisfaction with our company? So if you let's say let's choose 2 or 3 stars, for instance, Sam. So instantly the value that you chose in that embedded survey question instantly gets populated here, so it's able to capture that feedback instantly. So if you choose, let's say, a score of 5, Sam, so you see that the question below it does not appear, but if you choose, let's say, a score below or equal to 3, we instantly use the branch which we have created in the survey to instantly pop a second question to ask what's the primary reason for your score, just to get more insight and just to really squeeze out as much information as possible. We can also see in the Leica that variable company name has been populated with active text. Once again, this can be populated with anything we can that you like to use in the CDS. So for example, we can populate this with let's say with a case number, for instance, or with the company name of the client. So it's really the possibilities are endless. So as well as populating this information to using the CDS to populate information to a survey, we can also use surveys to populate information back to Dynamics. So imagine a client onboarding, for instance. So you can gain information through a contact us form, which allows you to build leads. So we can build a contact form that will ask for information such as your first name, last name, emails, very simple information. And as soon as that's created, it instantly creates a lead using Power Automate. So these are the kind of features that we can really you can really play around with customer voice, and it's really quite exciting. So let's go back to customer voice then, back to the portal. Brilliant. So let's just view some of the responses. So let's go to periodic customer surveys underneath reports. So here we can instantly see all of the metrics in terms of our responses. So if you scroll down, you'll see for each question, it instantly creates a Power BI dashboard to help be able to see the information in a bit more visually. And we can also view the responses if you go to the top right to respondents. If you want to see the individual respondents, we click to the first one. And then you can see the actual response form here. Perfect. So that's just a really small snippet of customer voice. There's a lot more features that are available. However, these are really the core features of customer voice. One extra thing that I'd like to mention is that if you have used Forms Pro before, and if you had to distribute these surveys internally to teams, so if you're collaborating with surveys before, With Forms Pro, you had to send these surveys to your organization on the individual level. So one survey would need to be pressed and clicked share to send to another user, for instance. So if I were to share a survey with Sam, I'll have to go server by survey in order to do that. Now with Customer Voice, we're able to combine all our surveys for all Project Sam. Perfect. So you'll see that we have a customer engagement surveys, and we have two surveys there, and a total of 12 responses. So we're able to have as many surveys as we want within this project, and we're able to click share, and you can share that with me, Sam. I'm instantly able to get access to this project, to the group of surveys that we have available within that project, rather than setting on an individual level to really boost collaboration. So if you click share, Sam. So once you have shared this, I get an email notifying me that I've just been given access to this project, so I can start work on this on this side of the customer engagement.